Narayana, being omnipotent, is not bound to any condition of energy. He is complete and independent to do anything and everything by his various potencies very easily and perfectly. Brahma is therefore directly the son of the Father and was not put into the womb of a mother. Therefore, he is known as Atmabhu. This Brahma is in charge of further creations in the universe, secondarily reflected by the potency of the omnipotence. Within the halo of the universe, there is a transcendental planet known as Svetadvipa, which is the abode of the Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, the Paramatma feature of the Supreme Lord. Whenever there is trouble in the universe that cannot be solved by the administrative demigods, they approach Brahmaji for a solution. And if it is not to be solved even by Brahmaji, then Brahmaji consults and prays to the Kshirodakashayi Vishnu for an incarnation and solution to the problems. Such a problem arose when Kamsa and others were ruling over the earth, and earth became too much overburdened by the misdeeds of the Asuras. Brahmaji, along with other demigods, prayed at the shore of the Kshirodaka ocean, and they were advised of the descent of Krishna as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. So, some people say that the Lord appeared because of the prayers of Brahmaji. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanathemirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading the prayers offered by Queen Kunti to Lord Krishna. In the series of prayers that she is offering, she was mentioning different reasons that people talk about for Lord's descent. In the previous verses, we saw that people say Lord has appeared to deliver or to please Devaki and Vasudeva. And in this verse, we see that she is addressing or she is specifying the reason for Lord's appearance as for the reason that Brahmaji prayed. We all know this, that whenever there are demons, especially mentioned like here some of the problems arose when Kamsa and others were ruling over the earth, and the earth became too much overburdened by the misdeeds of the Asuras. Brahmaji, along with the other demigods, prayed at the shore of Kshirodakashayi ocean, and they were advised of the descent of the Krishna as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. So, this has been the reason. When world was overburdened, like on the rule of demonic kings of Kamsa and others, so Brahmaji went to the Kshirodaka ocean, at the banks he prays, and then he gets the information or the intent of Lord that he would come personally as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. So, the important aspect that Kunti here pointing out is, as the verse says, others say that the world overburdened like a boat at sea. Imagine you're going in a sea and there is a boat and it is overburdened. There is every chance that it collapses and then it may go down. So, very similarly is the analogy given here. It's not about the weight, but it's about the demonic nature in this world that brings this place more closer to the hell or diminishes. So, then she goes on to pray, is much aggrieved, and that Brahmā, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. So that was one of the occasions when even Mother Earth felt the burden. When demons like Kamsa and others were ruling, Mother Earth, in the form of a cow, she goes and seeks some guidance from Brahmā. And Brahmā, he himself couldn't check on all this, and then he happens to go along with all of them to Kshirodakashayi banks, and then they pray for Vishnu. So here very nicely Prabhupada mentions about Brahmaji's. Brahmaji, he is addressed here as Jatohi Atmabhuva Artitaha. Atmabhu means by Brahma, Artita, being prayed for. Why is Brahma addressed as Atmabhu is very significant. Generally we see there is a way of taking birth in this world. Humans, animals, birds, bees, reptiles, plants, they have some mechanism. So, but here we see Brahma is not born like that. He is born by the womb of Narayana or Garbhodakashayi Vishnu directly. On his navel comes a flower, lotus flower, and he is considered to be the first person. So that's why it's called Atmabhu. So in the 12 Mahajanas that we always refer to, in that place also Brahma is addressed as Swayambhu. Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilamana, like that. Different names are mentioned. So these authorities are special representatives of the Lord. And then, so of course here we talk about Swayambhu, Lakshmi, Narasimha. Here of course Swayambhu means it's in a different understanding. He is self-manifesting, self-existing. When we talk about Swayambhu in the Mahajanas, it means that he is born out of Lord directly. Atmabhu or Swayambhu. That's the meaning here. And one more interesting qualification or interesting idea, contrast thing, what we see from this world is, how does this creation happen? Very nicely Prabhupada mentions. Okay, Brahma was created from the Lord's abdomen, and then Lord Brahma is now given the secondary creative force. Now he is given the authority for creating further. We all perhaps know that in the stem of the lotus feet, lotus stem, there are all these planets. The whole manifestation happens in the 14 planetary systems like. So all these are actually the creations of Brahma. with the order and given by the Supreme Lord. So, even though the first creator is Lord Himself, Lord Narayana or Mahavishnu, from Mahavishnu comes Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and from him the secondary creation is done by Brahmaji. So, the important aspect that we can learn is very nice aspect of how this happens or grows. Say for example, how does a body grow? As soon as a soul enters the woman's womb, mother's womb, then a pea-like thing forms and then it grows. Similarly is the mechanism of this world as well, of this universe as such. So, here, this principle, first living being born just after the creation is the direct son of Narayana. Narayana as Garbhodaka Vishnu first of all enters the material universe. Okay, now he enters. Without spiritual contact, matter cannot create. This principle was followed from the very beginning of the creation. So as soon as there is a spirit that enters, then it grows. See, we see as soon as the seed is sown and there is a proper arrangement, atmosphere, then it grows. So otherwise it may not grow if the field is not set. Either it may be the ground or the womb or the egg form. Unless the circumstances or the situation is fertile, it will not grow. Similarly, when Lord wants to create this universe, He enters. Unless the spiritual touch is there, nothing can grow. That's the whole idea that Prabhupada brings in here. The Supreme Spirit enters the universe and the first living being Brahma was born on the lotus flower grown out of the transcendental abdomen of Vishnu. Vishnu is therefore known as Padmanabha. Brahma is known as Atmabhu because he was begotten directly from the father without the contact of mother Lakshmi. So the important aspect is there is no necessity for the Lord to take help of Lakshmi to beget Brahma. Or for that matter, Brahma also did not take help of others like Saraswati. No, he begot so many Kumaras, then Shiva. They all come from different parts of bodily parts of Brahma directly. So the idea or that we may have may not be applicable for the personalities like that's mentioned here. Shri Radha Govinda ki jai. So the important aspect is it's all about the omnipotence. The Lord has got omnipotence to create the way He wishes to. There is no proper rule for Him to abide by. Unlike this, jivas in this material world, they have a certain way of begetting children or growing their bodies, whatever we say. But it is not applicable for the Supreme Lord, Narayana or Vishnu. Though the striking point here is, that is the omnipotence of the Lord. One who foolishly considers Narayana like other living beings should take the lesson from this. Prabhupada is telling, not necessarily, because there is always a quest in many scientists and philosophers and astronauts, where has this world come about? How does this universe form about? There are many people wondering about this one question, what is the source of creation? And here we see in the Kunti Maharani's prayers, we can very easily know how this universe has come about. So some aspects are not close to the purview of the human intelligence. They have to be conceived or understood having faith by the superior authority. Many times we see, there are, of course we have observed also, there are some insects that come about by in the evening, and then the whole night they are there and they are all dead, falling down in the morning. So the whole lifespan of their is about 12 hours or less than that. And then for it to conceive that there is a human being, 12 hours is just one night, and then they have a day like that, they have months, years, and they live, so 50, 80, 100 years, it cannot conceive. Can an insect conceive? Understand? No. It is far for it. Similarly, when we come across the descriptions of the scriptures, it appears a kind of phantasmagoria for non-devotees or those who don't have the faith in the scriptures. Just because somebody doesn't have faith, just because somebody doesn't understand this, it doesn't mean it doesn't, it is not that way. It is proven, it is just a matter of analogy. Some reasoning is also given, how it has come about. Prabhupada very nicely gives the reasoning of understanding this world, or some analogies that we can see from the day-to-day activities. One of that is, as soon as the Lord enters, this whole universe becomes a kind of lighter. That's how they are all floating. Say, for example, if we go into the water, and then automatically, even if you know swimming or doesn't know swimming, you will try to flap your hands and legs, and so automatically you will be, for a while, unless you know the mechanism of floating for a while, you will drown, because you will have water and then you will die. So as soon as the body is dead, what happens? It drowns. And after a while, of course, it becomes decomposed or whatever, and it floats back. But the point that we have to observe is, as long as the spirit soul is there, it floats. It's little lighter. Similar is the mechanism. As long as the Supreme Lord enters this universe, it floats. Otherwise, they cannot maintain. So this is very nicely explained in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna himself. In the 15th chapter, Krishna says, Gam avishya cha bhutani. Avishya, I enter. Bhutani means this universe. I enter into each planet, and by my energy, they stay in the orbit. He's saying, I enter into each planet, and by my energy, they stay in orbit. Otherwise, no planet can stay. These are heavier. Imagine, just a matter of 50, 60 kgs or 100 kgs, they drown in the water. And each planet is having big mountains, oceans. How much weight is it? If we have to calculate or some idea of what's the whole weight of this planet, it is enormous, and then it's floating as if a balloon is floating. And imagine, it is told thousands of times heavier is the sun, which is the prime planet for all these universes in this, to float. Out of heat, all this float. So imagine the weight of, sun. It will be 1,000 times more. And how is it floating? And it's going on in the orbit. Exactly, the Lord plants. So the idea is we have to understand there is a mechanism of seeing the analogy. As soon as the soul is there, it floats, and soul goes, it drowns. Similarly, as the Lord enters, it's a mechanism that Lord has created. These big planets, mammoth planets float. And then, of course, we've seen there is a Srishti Sthati Laya. Whenever Lord wants to wind up, He winds it up with His own energy. So, with analogy, it becomes little more clearer of the whole manifestation of this world and then unmanifestation of this world. But this simple mechanism is not taken because they don't have faith. If this faith is not there, then they will be struggling. So this calls for a very nice shloka that Prabhupada mentions. Even Krishna consciousness, if you go by analogy, logic, you can understand. After all, it is there. And then if you have that faith and go on understanding the scriptures, it will manifest more. So Prabhupada writes about this faith very interestingly, that what it is for, or what it is for us to take up from this aspect. So I'll just read this a small snippet. So this is called faith. Unless you have got faith, you cannot understand what is Krishna. Adav Shraddha. Yes, Krishna can make anything possible. That faith we must maintain. That is basic. That has been explained by Krishnaraja Kaviraja Goswami, that faith means complete conviction. Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kahe Sudrida Nischaya. That is faith. Vishwasa. If I say something and if you believe 100%, that is faith. That is faith. Not that it may be or not, no. So Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa. Vishwasa means faith. How? What kind of faith? Sudrida Nischaya. Firm faith. Without any doubt. Nischaya. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritahaya. If one surrenders to Krishna, then his all duty is done, finished. If the faith, similarly, if you have faith in Krishna, Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Kritahaya, then everything will be done automatically. Krishna will do for him, so that there will be no difficulty. So we may have some challenges, going forward in our daily course of devotional services. If we have faith that we are engaged in the Lord's service, and then, as Krishna says, Vishwasa Kahe, if you have that firm faith, Sarva Karma Kritahaya, all karmas will be done automatically. Very mystically, Lord acts and then gets our activities done. So, very important is the faith in the scriptures, in the Acharya's words, in the process that is given by great Acharyas. So, the first aspect in the different stages of bhakti, we would have seen Adav Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. It follows. But it all starts with Shraddha or faith. So, any subject matter you take, for it to be, maybe it creation of this world or the whole Krishna conscious aspect. No, if somebody says, okay, in Kali Yuga, what is the incarnation? Krishna says, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come and he has given the name, or Krishna as in the form of his name. Kali Kale Namarupe Krishna Avatar. So if we have that faith, okay, Krishna is there in this name. And then when we develop one step at a time, and then we can evolve on this understanding, and then we will know. Of course, scriptures say this Krishna chanting is for the liberated stage. Then how are we chanting? It's for the liberated stage. Only Haridas Thakur, those who are in that state can chant. Then how are we chanting? Our chanting is for the purification. It's on the way. So, as we get about going, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first instruction, Cheto Darpanam Archanam. As you chant, as you do Kirtan, all the dust is going. So, a day will come, by the mercy of Acharyas and predecessor Acharyas and Lord Krishna, that one becomes pure, and that's the true state of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So it's a process that we are in, as we see from these verses. Kunti Maharani praying differently. You may some say that you have appeared on the prayers of Devaki and Vasudev. Some say you have appeared on the prayers of Brahmā ji. But of course, you come on your own sweet will. You may give them the credit of being called for, but you come on your own sweet will. So Krishna is super independent and super Swarat. He is independent to any existence. So this is a very nice understanding that Kunti Maharani is giving. And when we offer these prayers, we know, okay, Lord gives different ways and helps how to bring the overburdened world to Krishna conscious and make it lighter and go back to Godhead. So with this I close. If you have any questions. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.